Hello, welcome back to Mart's Garage. I have just come out to the garage today. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do, but I've just come back from buying some parts. And I've also agreed to buy some other parts which will affect what I'm going to do. The parts that I've agreed to buy are some parts from a donor car from Julian at Parts Plus, and they're going to cut them off for me. Basically, it's from a 4-door car, and it's a piece cut like that and around here to about there, because this isn't right. And then it ought to have the inside piece here as well. So when I get that, I can decide how to do this. And I'm also getting the same piece from the other side, which are in better condition than these. I'm not saying that they might not need some work in some way, but they are better than these. I've also bought some other parts. There's a pair of sills there, and there's a rear valance. The rear valance was sold at a reduced price because it needs a bit of work, but it's the only one they'd got. So I thought, well, that's better than nothing. I can offer that in place and just finish it off and tidy it up, clean it up, and that'll fill the gap. But I've had a look at some parts cars, and I can see how this is supposed to be. It's like this, but this gets bent down, which is what I was intending. So I'm going to wait for those parts to come in, rather for me to be able to go and pick them up. So I've got a pair of sills, which I may or may not use on this side, because this side wasn't too bad. But I've got these repair panels as well, which go there to repair the front wings. Now I can see straight away, which is typical of a repair panel, there isn't really enough shape there. But to be honest, I think this is a bit out of shape. So I've got to do a little bit of rework, but that is typical of any panels that you buy. That there's always going to be some shaping required, but it's a start. I don't possess much in the way of sheet metal skills or tools, although I don't think these would have been particularly difficult to make. But no, I was happy to be able to pick those up. You can pay 3 times or twice the price and get a better quality one, but these are more the budget priced items, and they're okay. They're okay. So I've got a rear valance, a pair of those, and what's completely missing here is like a panel at the front that goes from here. You can see where it's all rusted away across the car, and it's like a little wind deflector panel. And here there should be a piece that goes there. This has been trimmed back, and you can see there's the remnants of it there. And here there is rust, and there, up that corner there is rust. And on this side there should be a battery tray here, and that's completely gone. And this is rusty, and that's rusted away there. So we had a chat, and I ended up buying basically the front off a parts car, So you're looking, that's the front, and these are the inner panels, and this is the piece that's missing off mine, which I asked him to cut it just so that it would be more easy to transport the parts. There's the front piece there, which is rusted away on mine like that. Down there. That's the piece that's rusted on mine. That's good on this parts piece. This is the tray, looking from underneath, that's completely been trimmed away on mine, so that's there. And this piece here has this area at the top that is missing on mine, that is got holes in it. So there's some datums here that I can use to line things up. It's a little bit gone round here, but it's actually from a car that was a similar age, and down here that's completely gone, including some of the flange there. So I haven't yet decided exactly what I'm going to do, but I've got the same piece for this side as well, and I'll show you that. That's in the shed. This is the same piece from the other side. There's the battery tray. That's completely missing on mine. This one does need some repairs, but that's not uncommon. But you can see at least the battery tray's there, and I've got the shape of it there. And I've got this piece there, and the other half of this piece here. I could cut the entire front off mine and just splice it in, but I'm not sure I actually want to do that. I might try and break this down into its separate panels, repair the individual panels and put them on. Having said that, on this side, you know, I might do better to splice this. Julian and his son Jay, they cut this off, but they've cut it so that two of the cross member bolt holes are there to act as a datum. So I could bolt this on and then weld it around. Yeah, I might do it different on one side to the other. So that gives me options. I know it's just, you know, this is repairable, whereas on my car it doesn't actually exist. This is the strut tear. It's a much heavier gauge piece of metal. It's more like 14 gauge. And this, you can see this is double thickness here. On that part there, it's got like a strengthener piece. So what I could do, maybe, no, I don't know. I don't know actually how I would go about splicing it. So if I decide I am going to splice it on this side, I would have to make the decision how to actually do it. But I've got that piece there. Again, probably not impossible to make, but you know, I didn't even know what it, you know, the size and shape and proportion of it. I can see photos, but it's hard to judge. Okay, so that was my little outing today. We went up and fetched these pieces. Not very nice, you know. Walk the dog, had something to eat. So I'm going to go back in a couple of days and get the rear panels. Yeah, be interesting to get that in place and see how it looks. Okay, right, that's just a little update from me. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then, bye. I came out late last night and did this spot welding here. I was going to move the car forward so I could plug the welder in further down the garage, but I realised that the garage wiring comes all the way up to that corner there. So I found out that the welder would reach there and come here. It was when I tried using it on that side, I blew the fuse in the extension lead. So this is spot welded now, and I will put a hold on this welding job because I'm buying some panels that will go here and there. So until those arrive, or I go and fetch them, I need to put a hold on this part of the job. So what I was thinking was, I've got the brakes built up there, so I might as well put the brakes on the back. And I'm waiting for some shoes for the front, but I might as well build up the front brakes as well and just put the shoes on when I get them. So I might as well sort of start working on the brakes. And so I'll do these ones. I think the wheels will go on and off while it's jacked up like that. Okay, righto, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. I just went in with this big Allen key like that and tapped on it, tapped on the end, and it's popped the end of the spring into there. I think that's how it's supposed to be. And I did the same there, and you can see that the end of the spring is engaged in the second hole now. So that worked quite well. Just do it like that and give it a tap. Just do it like that and give it a tap in that direction and tap it in. Okay, done those up with the impact gun, so they're nice and tight. You can't go too mad at it because you could easily break those bolts. They're only 5/16. So there we are, there's the rear brakes in place. I need to clean that drum. This drum wants a bit of a clean. I mean, this doesn't matter, this surface, but you know, it doesn't look very good, does it? But the inside of it is very oily. And I've ordered some new hub seals, so hopefully it won't tend to leak as bad in the future. So I need to wash this out and get the oil out of it, make sure it's nice and clean and dry, then I can refit it. I've been using this hub puller. I bought this quite a few years ago and I never used it because it doesn't fit a V8, but it's really good because it's got this internal piece here. You can see that goes, this piece goes inside, so when you wind in this, it's not mangling the end of the shaft. Works really well. It's a very good design. So that's one side done. I'll get the other side to the same stage, then I'll clean the drums and put those back on. Okay, back in a bit. Bloody hell. Put my seat a bit lower than normal and I kind of fell onto it then. Okay, that's good. Nice and easy. What I was trying to say about the spring was, I've got this right, hang on a minute. Yeah, that's it. The handbrake comes up there, you see, by there. Can you see that the spring isn't in that second hole there? No, it is. Yeah, I think that went. That's it. That's properly engaged now. Oh, and it's popped out of there, look. Can you see it's popped out of that one? So I'll see if I can knock it back into there now. It's probably a better way of doing this, but I've never done it before. That's in, that's in, that's it, that's it. Okay, good. Okay. That's got my built-up cylinder and my shim piece there. Okay, I will go and clean the drums. Back in a little bit. I've cleaned this drum up. The braking surface is pretty good, to be honest. I've given it a wire wheel. There's some bits there that just need wiping off. It's just spray, you know, for cleaning. So I'm just going to put this back on. I can wipe it off after it's on. I've just pushed a kitchen towel through it to clean it. That's clean. That's all right. This isn't the final fitment. This isn't the final fitment because I've ordered new hub seals, so they'll have to come off to get the new hub seals on. I might as well go and clean these and then put these on. That's a bit better. I'll just tighten it very gently. Snail brand, made in England. Okay, that'll do. Let's adjust it up and slacken it off because it's probably not centered. That's why it's a bit tight. It's a 1/4 inch square on the back of the adjuster, and I've used a socket before now, a 1/4 inch drive socket, and you put the socket on, then you put like an Allen key in the socket to turn it, you know, works all right. Okay. I think there's plenty of meat on the shoe, so it's kind of adjusted up quite quickly, to be honest. It's a bit tight. I've got to be able to pull them off anyway, so okay. Oops. Oh, there we go. That's better. That's all right, actually. Okay, good. I'm just wondering whether to put the wheels back on. I might as well. These are a lot more easy to put on and off than the, you know, the big 750 16s and things like that. They make you lazy, these things do. There we go. Sweet. I'll leave the hubcaps off. Okay, I'll do the same on the other side and, you know, probably call it good at that. Righto, back in a bit. Cheers then, bye. I thought that was a spider when I first saw it, but it's a big lump of MIG weld. So I'm going to grind this off flat, because these are the surfaces that the bumper bolts on with, the two surfaces there. So they need to be flat. What I'm interested in is are they flat across, or are they slightly curved? In other words, the rear valance is slightly curved, but I'm wondering if it needs flats putting into it to make it fit nice. So I'm going to start the ball rolling by grinding these off. I'll show you the valance in a minute. It's in the other part of the garage. Hello. What you can see there is a rear valance. I got it at a reduced price because it has got a little bit of surface rust on it, and I think it had suffered a little bit of damage. So I've been straightening it out, and I've just offered it into place. It kind of fits. I have done some shrinking and stretching on the flanges to try and tune the curve. Bear in mind, the rear of my car isn't necessarily exactly the same shape as a standard car, because I've kind of made up the flange there. So I'm hoping it is a close resemblance. But it doesn't look too bad. It's got the right sort of shape. Before I fix it in place, I want to make sure I can make it fit the quarter panels when I get the quarter panel repair piece sections that I'm going to get. So that's the first, to quote Coldwell Motors, the first light toss. Just put it on there and have a look, see what it looks like. My sheet metal working skills are next to zero. Having said that, I did use the shrinker stretcher, and it is working very well, to such a degree that, to be honest, I keep overdoing it. You only need the slightest touch to change the shape quite dramatically. But I think that is looking okay, and it don't fit too bad. I mean, bear in mind I'm fitting it up against a homemade panel. I think maybe it wants to come out a bit here, and I need to know where it's supposed to come to relative to the light cluster as well. Is it in line? Because I've got it in line here virtually, but it's not in line here. So I need to come to this way a little bit. But the first light toss, with apologies to Scott, and it don't look too bad. Well, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to quite do next, but I will do, and when I've done something I'll bring you back to show you. Hello. I just spent 10 minutes cleaning it up with a wire wheel, and to be honest, it looks okay. It's quite a subtle shape, to be honest. I don't know if it's right or wrong, or if it ought to be more straight, but if you look along the bottom, sort of from that angle along there, you can see there's quite a curve in it. Now I've been putting that with the shrinker stretcher, but if you look along the top, it's basically a much more gentle curve with a bit less of a curve. There's less of a curve to it. There was a couple of little dents that I've knocked out, but not to the extent that Kyle Carter would have done it. Carter's auto restyling. He'll be annoyed at me for not giving it more effort. But to be honest, I can't find my slapper. I've got a slapper somewhere and I can't find it. Now, I don't want that misunderstood. I'm looking for a slapper. But anyway, that's kind of as far as I can go with that at the moment. I might temporarily attach it with a couple of screws. When I went to Hot Parts Plus, I measured a key dimension, but I had a feeling that this repair panel was fitted too low down, and you can kind of see that because you can see that this curve here is supposed to match this curve here, and it's much too low. And I took a dimension from here, from there up to here on on 2 cars, both sides, and the dimension on the other cars was 18 inches, and on this car it's 19 inches, so it's mounted low at the front as well. So this all needs to be, well, I'm going to cut it off anyway, but yeah, it wasn't right, and it doesn't quite look right either. It hasn't got the right look to it. Okay, righto. Yeah, so yeah, the valance looks okay. I don't know if I need to put a couple of flats on it where the bolts go through. I'll kind of see how it mates up to the bumper. Okay, but anyway, yeah, a little bit of progress, and it's not looking bad. Quite pleased with that, to be honest. It was just good to be able to find a steel run rather than a glass fibre one. There is a company in this country that produces a rear valance, but it's very much more expensive. It's like it's probably 6 times what I paid for this. So you could expect that the other one would be, you know, you just offer it up and it'd be perfect. Where I have spent a little bit of time bashing this one about to get it, so I'm happy with it. But anyway, nonetheless, for what I paid, very good. Again, I will think about what I'm going to do, and then I'll bring you back when there's something more to show. Cheers then, bye. Hello, I'm under the car. I've got the bumper kind of clamped on, and I'm looking at the brackets there, and I'm just trying to work out exactly what I need to do. I think the bumper's a bit tweaked. Certainly that mounting surface needs to be 90 degrees to the flange or vertical to the ground. But all in all, it don't look too bad, except like there's nothing joining that to that. And that piece there doesn't fit the boot floor, because I think I've gone just marginally high with the boot floor in that area. I don't know if I might be able to bash it down a bit. Not ideal, but you know, I'm kind of learning as I'm going here. But the important thing is I need to be able to attach a flange. I need to be able to attach a flange to the end of them box sections that will take the bumper and the valance, actually. I did offer the bumper against the valance, and the face of the bumper brackets is flat from there through to there. So because the valance is curved, there's an anomaly. So the valance ideally should have some flats kind of, well, pressed into it. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to achieve that. Righto, that'll be a job for another day. But for now, I'm quite happy. You can't see the valance because it's in the shed, but yeah, it's not looking too bad. And hopefully, I'm going to get the quarter repair panels tomorrow, so I'll be able to sort of continue and repair the rear end of this rusty old car. Okay, well, thanks for joining me in the garage and under the back of the car. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. I've kind of put the bumper in place. I can't remember where I got to in the video, so I'll put the bumper in place. It's clamped on a rear sort of filler piece that it's got there, and there's a lathe tool between it and the rear flange down there, and there's a clearance below the rear light there, slightly less there because I've got a slight anomaly where the flange is a tiny bit high on this side because I kind of goofed. I reckon the holes in the valance need to be about 1.25 inches down. So what I'm going to do is take the bumper off and try and put some recesses into the valance, just to, because the bumper face is flat, the mounting faces are flat and the valance is curved, so I'm going to try and just put a little bit of a recess in there. Okay, back in a bit. I am probably going to live to regret this, but I've made this little jig and I'm going to try and indent this panel here so that the bumper would fit flat. I'm just wondering whether to go and do it in the press or just to hit on it with a hammer. I think I might put a clamp there just to hold this in place. I suppose I could put a clamp there as well. Put a clamp there and then hit it there. There's another piece of this material here. I expect it to put a kink here. I don't know whether to fold this up so it goes easier and then refold it back again after. Don't know, I think I might just give it a go and see what happens. If I want to put a clamp there, I need to just move it like that. Okay, I'll put a couple of clamps on. I might be able to do it just by clamping, to be honest. I might try that, you know, a low impact method. Okay, leave it with me and I'll see what I can do. I think I might just go and put it in the hydraulic press and, you know, press it and see what happens. It'll probably be a disaster. It's only got to go like 1/4 inch. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, I'll bring the camera in when I'm ready. Right, I've put it in and I've just taken up the sort of tension, if you like. So let's start from scratch. I think it'll just, I don't know what it's going to do, to be honest. Let's just see. Ooh. Okay. Do you know, I think that might be okay. I can kind of deal with that flange afterwards. Alright then, yeah, okay. It's giving me what I want, just a gentle slope all round. Yeah, I can kind of, yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Let's hope it works alright on the other side as well. Okay, I'll take it out and get it set up and do the other side. Let's take it out. Yeah, that's okay, I think. I can hammer and dolly this, get it straight. Don't know if you can kind of see that. Don't look too bad, does it? Bit of a square edge, but I didn't take any time to prepare that piece of metal. Yeah, that's alright, it kind of tapers out to nothing. But that bit there, this surface ought to be parallel with this one when I press this one. Okay, let's get it set up for the other side then. Got a centre line here. Oh, can you see that there's an edge there, look, to give that there? Okay, I won't bother taking the camera in the second time, it'll just be a repeat of that, so I'll bring you back when I've got something to show. Okay? Yeah, that's alright. I think that's alright. You know. There's my fixture that I made. And there's the valance with the two indents. So now I need to kind of address this here and there. I think I might just go and try squeezing it in the vise. It's got some other damage here, you see, that I need to sort out. I think they were shrink things, but they were rather yeah, anyway. Okay, I might just try and squeeze that in the vise, them 6-inch jaws in the vise. See what that gives me. Okay, back in a little bit then. That's not too bad. And you can see there, that's where the holes are. That's where the holes will be. And they're kind of in the middle of this square pad that tapers out to nothing there. I don't think the standard ones have that raised there. I think they just curve down. I think they might have more curve on them than that. Anyway, for a amateur job from a non-sheet metal worker, I don't think that's come out too bad really. Yeah, that does actually fit. That's how the bracket fits, and you can see that it don't fit too bad. You know, it's fitting against a flat surface now. There's the other bracket. Once it's all bolted down tight, you know, it'll pull it flat, won't it, I suppose. Okay, anyway, yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Who's to say the brackets aren't bent? I mean, that bumper's a bit mangled, isn't it? You know, hey, I can only work with what I've got. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Yeah, quite pleased with that for what it took. You know, about... Whoops, that'd be the Thunderbird there. You know, for what it took, some bits of scrap wood and some screws, which can be salvaged anyway. The screws can be reused. Okay, righto. So that's my rear valance there then, taking shape. Okay. Thanks a lot then. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello, I'm under the car and I'm looking at the valance in place behind the box section there and relative to the boot floor. And what I was just thinking is I might make a, well, what I'm thinking is that the holes look to be in the right place. Well, not the holes, but the marks that I've made for the holes appear to be in the right place. I ain't even got a box section up there. There, look. So I think I might start by making a piece of plate that has a small angle lip at the top and welds to the boot floor and then comes down into that area there to give me something to sort of build to, if you see what I mean. Then I can get everything, then I can kind of build back from there onto my new piece of plate. I might leave the valance so it can be, so it's unboltable, you know, just have it sandwiched in with a bumper, and then it can be kind of, you know, it'll avoid getting rust in that seam there. Okay, anyway, yeah, it's not looking too bad, so let's you know, little bit by little bit gets the job done, doesn't it? So let's make a couple of little drop down angle brackets. Looking at the where the holes are, I think what I will do, I will drill the holes through, and that'll allow me to kind of put a piece on the inside and put a nut and bolt through. Okay, right, I'll start working on that then. That's the piece that I've cut out for this side. It kind of just wedges in at the top there, and I can sort of envisage building off the remnants of the box section back to it and making it quite strong. It's not, we're not talking about restoration or renovation. Well, it is renovation and we're kind of renewing it, but not back to new. It's just repair, but hopefully to a better standard than I would have been able to do it 35 years ago. Righto. I'll get the other side up to the same, you know. I'll use it as a pattern and make one for the other side the same. Well, actually it's down there, look, but I've just got to drill the holes and trim it off and get those tacked into place, and then, you know, the valance will bolt on and the bumper will bolt on. It won't be very well supported because it's only tacked to the boot floor, but it's better than nothing. Okay, I'll carry on and bring you back when there's more to show. Okay, I've got the valance in place. Nuts and bolts going through those two brackets that I made, but I've just had a bit of a revelation. I cannot weld upside down. It's just hopeless. I'll show you. It's hopeless. I've tried some different settings. I'm gonna have to do some research and maybe get some advice. But I mean, you know, okay, 1/2 inch of that is okay. The rest of it is no good at all. And the other side, where I've got less access, that's, you know, just crap in it. You know, what can you do? That's just not good enough, is it, really? So, okay, that's kind of put the kibosh on everything, because all of this needs welding upside down. you know, all the ideas and plans that I've had rely on me being able to weld like this. It's just no good at all. Okay, righto, bit of a disaster. Let's have a break, go and have something to eat, go and have something to drink, and come back another day. Other than that, it was going okay. Righto, anyway, take care then, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye.